Hey guys, how's it going? I am the ConflictNerd. Hello and welcome back to the Nerd Natters, your bi-weekly Q&A show where I answer whatever the hell you decide to send in. You can email natters@conflictnerd.com. That is natters@conflictnerd.com. Once again, natters@conflictnerd.com for any questions that you might want answered in future episodes. Let's get right to it. This first question comes in from Adam S. And it reads, with gaming expos coming to the UK and Europe such as Eurogamer, Game Expo Scotland, Gamescom, etc., are you planning to go to any of them? Well, there's a funny story there. Last year, I was planning on going to Eurogamer, and that trip... Was it last? Yes, it was. And that trip fell through at the last minute, so I didn't wind up going to Eurogamer, and that was a lot of money wasted. Game Expo Scotland is one I'm strongly considering because I know of several people going to it. It's not too far away and it's not too expensive, and it's something I can easily achieve as well. And if I play my cards right, I can consider it a 21st birthday present as well. So that's something I'm considering. Sorry, not Eurogamer. Gamescom is something I probably will never really get to. I've got no interest in going to Gamescom. It's a bit far away. I know there's big announcements at it, but it's a bit far away for me. I would rather go to somewhere like E3, which is even more unlikely, but I just can't see myself going to Gamescom. I suppose if I do go to Game Expo Scotland, then I will probably end up going to Eurogamer next year, and maybe go back and forth between the two on a bi-yearly basis. I don't know. I want to go. I do want to go to Game Expo Scotland, and that's the one I'm most likely to be going to. But I don't want to say to anyone that I am, in fact, going, because I said that about Eurogamer last year. I had merchandise about Eurogamer last year, and it fell through at the last minute, so it was all completely pointless. So, I'm going to be careful this time round. I'm going to think about it, and I'm going to see if it is a viable option. Money's not in, money doesn't grow on trees. I've got other things I want to spend it on. I want to make sure I've got the money for the millions of games coming out later this year that I want to pick up. You've got Destiny, the Halo Master Chief Collection. I do want to pick up the new Call of Duty as well, because it looks like it might be interesting. There's also there's all the games coming out that we saw at E3, and I want to make sure I can get all of those and actually play and enjoy them. And to be honest, being me, I would rather sit in and enjoy those games as opposed to spending that money on going to Scotland for a week. That said, if I can do both, that's even better. So, we'll see what happens in regards to it. Game Expo Scotland is something I do want to go to. I'm likely to be going to. I'm just not particularly willing to confirm that I'm going. I know that sounds really, press release-esque, but I'm just not willing to confirm that I'm going yet because I can't confirm if I'm going yet. This next question comes in from Jack, and it reads, hey ConflictNerd, I love your videos. Thank you very much, Jack. I was just wondering, how do you get your videos to be so good, and could we maybe play in a game together sometime? That is entirely possible. We could play in a game together sometime. I'm wanting to do that more often, so Jack, what I would like you to do is maybe tweet me or something. Let me know that you are the Jack that sent me this email. Maybe message me on Twitter or something like that. We can play a game together at some point. As for how I get my videos to be so good, well, I'm not one... I don't necessarily believe my own videos are that great. That said, I do believe I have the correct way to do them. Whether or not my commentary's great, whether or not you like me, my setup is correct. And the first thing you'll be wanting is a good microphone. The core components of making gaming videos on YouTube are a PC that can actually record, a good microphone, and the right editing software. Now, editing software is a bit fickle. Everyone likes different things with editing software. I use Adobe Premiere. I have used Sony Vegas in the past. If you're just starting out, I would recommend Vegas. If you know Premiere, then use it. But as for microphones, I use a Bad Axe UM900 microphone. In the past, I used a Harrier UM600. Same microphone, same style of microphone, just the Bad Axe is the higher range one. And they're fantastic. They're really good microphones. They cost me about £70, maybe less than that, probably less than that. and I'm pretty certain they're even less than that on Amazon now, and they're really good microphones. Most people on YouTube are going to recommend the Samsung C01U microphone. I would recommend it as well. It's another good microphone, but it's entirely up to you. You know, get yourself a microphone that suits your voice. Do you want to sound the way I do? Because this is how my microphone makes me sound. If you go and watch some of Sherlock Shuffle's videos, I know he uses a Samsung C01U, so that's how that microphone sounds. If you find a microphone that you think looks cool, or would be cool, or would work great, just go to YouTube and listen to people testing it. Just type in the name of the microphone and test or something like that, and I'm sure you can find someone sampling the microphone to let you hear what it sounds like. That's what I've started doing lately. I am in the market for another microphone. I'm actually looking for an XLR microphone. But again, if you're just starting out, you don't want an XLR microphone, you want a USB microphone. I know the Audio-Technica, is it the 2020 or 2020 or something like that? There are two variants of it, an XLR one which is cheaper and a USB one which is more expensive. I know that's another good microphone, but it's much more pricey than the ones that I listed off before. The next thing you'll be wanting, as I said, is a good screen recording software. And you've got the choice between Fraps and DxTory. There are other ones out there, but the two that I have always used are Fraps and DxTory. I primarily use DxTory because it lets me control the audio tracks much better, but I've been using Fraps a little bit lately because DxTory's been having some problems with the SimCity. So you can sort of interchange those two. They'll do the same thing. They're about as demanding as each other on your system, and that ties into the next point and the most important one. You need a computer system that can actually manage it. If you're recording and you're getting 15 frames per second, 20 frames per second, I'm sorry and I don't want to sound harsh, but there is no point. Because that is not watchable. That frame rate is far too low. Both Fraps and DxTory will give you an overlay in the corner of your screen that will tell you your current frame rate while recording. It won't show up in the video. It's what I do all the time. And if it's 20 FPS or below, it's not really watchable. 25 FPS is watchable, but it's not great. 30 FPS is what you want to be aiming for. Anything above that for YouTube is perfect. Just make sure your computer can do it. Because it takes so much time and it can take so much effort to make videos. And you want to do them as best you can. And you don't want to misrepresent your own talents by creating the videos on a system that can't really do it. So keep that in mind. That is something you're going to need, and that's kind of it. Good microphone, good recording software, decent PC. Now if you were going to take things a step further, let's say you're doing collaborative content, you'll want something like an audio interface and DxTory. Not Fraps, DxTory. The reason you have the audio interface is because you can create a second audio channel with that, and that means that with DxTory, you can set it up to record your screen, you can set it up to record the game sound, which is on one audio channel, and then you can set it up to record your friend, say over Skype or TeamSpeak or Ventrilo, on another audio channel. When you're done recording, you stop recording, you can right-click on the recorded file, and then extract the audio streams, and what that will give you is the game sound in its own file, and your friend's commentary in another, meaning that you can tweak your friend's audio to clean it up a bit, make it a bit louder if it wasn't balanced properly, and it makes everything a bit safer. With Fraps you can't do that, and I remember in the past I would always use Fraps or collaborative stuff, and I'd realize afterwards that the game was way too loud and the commentating partner is way too low, and it's just useless. I've had to scrap hours worth of content in the past because of that, and I don't need to do it anymore because of my audio interface. So collaborative content, you want to get one of those. I use the Lexicon Alpha. It's not the best thing, but it's pretty cheap. It does the job, so you can get that. Lexicon Alpha. You can get it on Amazon. It will also take an XLR microphone, so if you want the Audio-Technica AT2020, the cheaper version, go get it. You can use it with a Lexicon Alpha. It'll do the job. And that's pretty much my setup. Other than that, you probably want a second screen because it just makes everything easier. You can have text on one and your recording software on the other. That's what I've got right now recording this. My main screen has Audacity, and my second screen has the emails that people have sent in for this show. Speaking of which, that's something you'll want. An audio recording software such as Audacity or Adobe Audition or Sound Booth, whatever they're calling it these days. And really, that is it. That is how my videos work. That's how they're recorded. That's what I use. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Once again, I'd like to thank you, Jack, for the compliment on the videos and all that, but that is it. There's no magic to it. There's nothing really special. It's just the right equipment. It's a bit costly. It is a really costly thing to do, but it's so fulfilling. Even if you don't get millions of subscribers, it's fun. And I know I can do it. I might not have the best commentary or voice in the world, but at least I know that I can do it. Now we're going to throw a third question in here. I don't know who it's from. The person has since deleted the tweet. But it was basically, where did I get my name? Where did ConflictNerd come from? ConflictNerd came from a live stream I did maybe 2.5 years ago. And it was, I was live streaming on my old Twitch channel for my old YouTube channel. And I had a friend on, and I can't remember what we were playing, but we were talking about, you know, nerdy superheroes. What would the nerdy superhero and sidekick slash villain be called? And we came up with the War Geek and the ConflictNerd. And originally, I was going for War Geek for this channel name, but it was taken. And I remembered ConflictNerd. This was 2 years ago creating this channel. I was sitting there thinking, what's the name? And then it hit me, oh, the War Geek. I remember that conversation. That was really cool. And it was taken. I was like, okay, I'll be the ConflictNerd. And originally, I really didn't like ConflictNerd as a name. I was really annoyed because I wanted War Geek. And since then, it's just grown on me, and I love ConflictNerd. It just works. It doesn't work brilliantly with my voice and my pronunciation and my accent, but I love it a bit. I mean, hey guys, how's it going? I am the War Geek. It doesn't work, does it? It doesn't work at all. Whereas, hey guys, how's it going? I am the ConflictNerd. Hello and welcome to whatever video I'm doing. It works so much better, and I really do love it. And I'm happy that someone took War Geek, because this channel could have been completely different. Just that one little thing could have changed things so much. Because I can guarantee you, I would have got really sick of saying War Geek, because geek is a word I never use. I mean, nerd is something, I call myself a nerd, you know, I'm a nerd, and I'm happy to say I'm a nerd. Am I a geek? Not really. I wouldn't say I'm a geek. I don't mean that in a negative way. It's a word I never use. And to be fair, I never say, hey guys, outside of my own intro. So there is that, but that's where the name came from. It was an old live stream I did 2.5 years ago, maybe more than that, with an old friend of mine who's still about. He's planning his own channel, I think. But I don't think anything's come of it just yet. He's planning to do his own channel, but that's where it came from. Me and him just having a bit of a back and forth, thinking of something silly, and we came up with the ConflictNerd and the War Geek. War Geek was originally taken, so I went with ConflictNerd and wasn't very happy about it. But now, 2.5 years later, I couldn't be happier with it. I'm really glad that I went with it. So that's where it came from. That's where the name ConflictNerd comes from. And that is going to be the Nerd Natters for this week. Once again, I'd like to remind you, you can email in natters@conflictnerd.com. That is natters@conflictnerd.com. That is not natters@wargeek.com. Wargeek.com sounds pretty cool, actually. I like that. I like it as a URL, but I don't like it as a channel name. YouTube.com/conflictnerd as opposed to youtube.com/wargeek. Ugh. Anyway, yes, you can email in natters@conflictnerd.com for any questions you would like answered on any future episodes. This is going to be bi-weekly, so there won't be one next week. It will be the week after. You can also tweet questions at me. Just have hashtag Q&A in the tweet. You can post them on my Facebook page, message them to me via my Facebook page, whatever you want to do. Just ask me questions, and I will answer them. Anyway, folks, that is going to be it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
I know they're out there.